Welcome. The CEO interviews are production of Gorecom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives to get to know their companies. With us today for the first time ever, Edward Manolos, the CEO of Cannabis Global, trades in the US on the stock symbol CBGL. For those new to the story, and if you're bullish on cannabis, you're going to love hearing about Cannabis Global because they're a real revenue generating company. The way to describe them is they're an emerging force in the cannabis marketplace. They've got a growing product line, intellectual property portfolio that's translating to a growing top line. And that's important right now because the market's trying to figure out who's real and who's not. So this company for the first 9 months this year has reported 1.99 million, let's call it $2 million in revenue. And that's up over 105% from last year. So great top line, and they're growing. And the year isn't done yet. So for the fiscal year ending August 31st, the company expects to report even stronger growth driven by new product introduction and multiple new distribution partnerships. For example, they launched 23 new products. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but the ones that I love, the cannabis infused drinking straws and a comply bag, which is a childproof bag for transport and storage. They've also got an edible subsidiary. They've got patents where they filed 3 non-provisional, multiple provisional, and they're growing through M&A. So this company is delivered real results. Eddie, welcome to the show, my friend.
How you doing, George? Good to be here.
Hey, I'm doing great. We're glad to have you, especially as people are winding into the Labor Day long weekend, because we know what happens right after that. Investors start coming back. They start coming back home from vacation, and they're getting really serious about looking at, new companies. Let's talk about the Cannabis Global. First of all, $2 million in revenue in the first 9 months. Where did that come from primarily? Which of your product lines are delivering most of that?
I'm really excited to talk about this, here. So the growth revenue is coming from several sources, here. It's not coming from one or two. So it's really exciting that we're achieving some of the diversification while growing revenues, here. Right now, we're shipping many new products, from our distribution, and also still growing.
So Eddie, is it some of the new products like the comply bag, the cannabis infused straws that are making up some of the revenue, or is it still the legacy products and we have a lot to look forward to from the new products?
Well, George, I have to tell you this, here. The new products are still just about to launch, right? So it's all about the legacy product that so far that's bringing this exciting revenues. Nice. So far. From our value flowers to our new purchase Caliwana brands of we have this El Cheapo brand that from we have really good value flowers to also the rosin infused cannabis goods, edibles and all that.
And where are you guys selling this through, Eddie? Or do you guys do it direct to consumer, or are you going through cannabis shops in California? How are you guys getting your products into the customer's hand?
We're going through multiple different ways, Of course, we have our distributions that we tap into. So far, I believe that we have about over 30 plus different local retailers that carries our products, Nice. And of course, right now also we're trying to develop direct to consumer, perhaps our deliveries and other new strategies get to market.
That's great that you got 30 distributors already, and California is such a big market that's only set to grow. So let's talk about growth in terms of new products. What I love the fact is you've got 23 that you're launching. 2 of them are that I want to talk about because we can't talk about all of them. The first one, more the serious one, the comply bag. How big of a problem is that? And how good of a product is it? When will the comply bag be launching?
Well, let's talk about comply bag. This is something that I'm really excited about. So one thing we know about cannabis that the biggest problem is how to preserve the integrity of the product between from seed to sales, right? And we know that this is one of the biggest issues that we're happening in California and throughout the rest of the country or states. Here, comply bag, we have over 10 different. It's based on a money bag, a bank money bag. So we have over 10 different special safety features, that prevents tamper-proof and sort of thing like that. So
and
right now,
other companies that have comply bags, are you going to very competitive space there, or are you guys going to be one of the innovators with these comply bags?
Good question, George. To my knowledge, okay, this is the only technology that's exists on the market so
Wow.
far. So we are very exciting ready to launch this product. But
Yeah, go. Don't worry about your phone. Hey, for everyone at home, that's what happens when you're doing Zoom calls on phones. You get calls. But go on, continue with that thought.
Right. Okay, you got stuck though. Sorry, you got.
That's okay.
Stuck. Okay. Yeah. So here we're very exciting that by launching of this compliant bag, then we fill the gap in between to help the industry and help the state to resolve the issue.
Any idea from your distributors, maybe how big of a market this could be? Like when you talk to your 30 existing distributors, maybe other potential distributors, what kind of feedback are you guys getting in terms of level of excitement, level of enthusiasm, and maybe even have an idea of market demand?
Well, you know what, right now we cannot imagine how big the demand is, because from every cultivation to every distribution, for every product, you will need a compliant bag. And instead of buying traditionally turkey bags or a trash bag, this is really a revolutionary way. And also with all the technologies that wraps around that, yeah, it's very exciting.
Do you know when it'll be coming to market? Ballpark, is it already going to market, or is there a launch date, a potential launch date in the future?
Right now, we're doing some soft launch, just making sure
Nice.
that we're making sure all the bugs we have no issue with the technology side of it. But we will anticipating fully launching by the fourth quarter of this year.
All right. Can't wait to see that and watch for it. The other one is the cannabis infused straws. Hey, anything over paper straws, because there right now, paper straws are just not doing it for me. And you're going to be preferred manufacturer and distributor for all of California with this. Tell us about the cannabis infused straws and when you think you're coming to market with it.
Well, okay, let's talk about this straw. This straw is such a new technology. It is so exciting that, first of all, let's talk about cannabis edible industry, right? Here, there's people, we have candy, we have chocolate cookies,
Right.
But guess what? Even though we have drinks around, but most of the retailers were just reluctant to carry drinks just due to a couple of things, right? Heavy, bulky, and often it needs refrigerations. Okay, but now with this new revolutionary straw, okay, with one straw, you'd be able to carry or enjoy your cannabis drink or any forms of cannabis drink at tip of your finger. All right, so this is really exciting product that we are about to launch. I would say we are getting ready probably within the next 30 to 45 days, you'll see on the market.
And is this a product that you guys are licensing, or you guys are actually manufacturing it yourselves and handling the entire supply chain?
Good question. So we have the licensing, and now we are the only distributor and manufacturer that's able to produce this technology throughout California.
And just in California or throughout the United States?
Throughout the United States. But then again, here within the cannabis states, right now we're implementing just due to a licensing issue, right? So we're starting from California, and of course we're going to trickle down. But another thing is that this technology is not just limited to cannabis. Also, we are looking into developing something that we call exotic cannabinoids, right? Such as Delta 8 HHC. So also we'll be implementing this technology onto the different cannabinoids.
What's the feedback from the market on the cannabis infused straws in terms of enthusiasm from your potential customers, distributors, and so on? What's the feedback like there? Are you expecting that to be a pretty good launch also?
Oh, it's everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. And also it's so discreet that it's not, you're not smoking, you're not making any noise, you're not making any smell, and only you would know. And the beauty about this is with our technology, right, it's really fast acting. So soon as, I would say probably 5-10 minutes after you drink your beverage, right, you start feeling nice and fuzzy and warm.
Well, we'll have to do a drink together next time I'm in LA.
George.
Live interview while we're sipping on our cannabis infused straws, and and see what kind of
Definitely.
impact it has.
Definitely, yes.
A company, look, strength comes from two sides of the financial statements. One is the income statement, and you've done $2 million in revenue just in 9 months. So we got to figure, even if you extrapolate that number, split, that's like $666,000 a quarter. You're going to end up with a pretty great year north of $2.5 million likely. So that side's taken care of. The balance sheet, though, you guys have talked a lot about how happy you guys were that you cleaned up the balance sheet. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and what just some of the things that you guys were able to do on the balance sheet side?
Well, actually here, just instead of just focusing on the balance sheet, right? Let's focusing on the big picture, right? So this year, okay, a couple of things. We are completing our R&D program. So therefore, our IP technology, it's really moving forward. And one of the things, as you can see, we're implementing on the straw technology. The second thing is, okay, of course, focusing on growth revenue. Okay, as you can see, with all these 20, no, not even 23, right now, I can even count probably 28 plus of all the new SKUs that's launching, right? So growth revenue, that's what we're really focusing on. Not to mention, of course, restructuring of the whole company, okay? And last but not least, we're talking about debt reduction. Okay, that's one of the things that we have to shuffle around and then focus on making sure that as we're moving forward, we can get rid of the debts, and also then it becomes a more profitable company moving forward. And last but not least, with all these new SKUs coming online, okay, here, it shows that our distribution and manufacture is also growing rapidly. And so very exciting. And so everything's
given what you guys are doing on the growth side, is it fair to say that the macro cannabis consumer story is really strong in California, and is it still growing? Give us a sense of what the macro cannabis, the entire cannabis market kind of looks like. And it's been a while since we've been able to talk about that with investors.
That's correct. So one thing on the way here, I was in the car, okay, and listening to KFI, and one exciting thing is that for the first time, cannabis has surpassed cigarette smokers.
Wow.
Okay, I want to say cannabis users, okay, because also, right, so that's very, very exciting. That tells you, I believe that the last time when they're talking about when they had the survey, right, in comparison, I think it's 16% of the Californians, yeah, I believe, versus 4%. It was 4% prior. Now it's 16%. So it has grown 4 times over the years. Okay, and so that especially now, I have seen many of the newcomers. Okay, here like the soccer moms, the people who are seeing cannabis more as a drug back in the days. Now it seems a lot more friendlier, especially with products such as a straw. Okay, it's so non-threatening.
Yes. It's not just straight smoking flower.
Right.
It's coming in, and hence, I guess that's the reason for the 23 new products. So, of the 23 new products, we talked about the Comply bag, the Cannabis Infused straws. Are there any others, maybe a couple of others that you're really excited about that, that you're really looking forward to, that your own personal, I know they're all going to be probably good, but do you have a couple of personal favorites that you especially like?
One of my personal favorite is what we've been developing, the hash technology. Okay, the hash and rosin technology. One thing about hash and rosin, just to give the audience understand, it's solventless. Okay, which means that there's no other solvents or contaminants and stuff like that. So therefore, if you will have to try to use anything, whether smoke or edible or ingestion, right, you rather go with solventless because there's no harmful content.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely sounds better.
Exactly, and also it's very clean. And one of the beauty is with our technology, we're able to get super concentrated on the THC level. So therefore, it's very potent yet very clean. So, and also it's being able to dose. That's the beauty of it. And now we're able to implementing this technology or this product into many of our SKUs, from edibles to pre-rolls, such forth. Yeah.
I got to admit, the one thing I like about what you guys are doing is you're really coming forth with some really unique products. you're not just going headstrong into the ones that have the most competition, the most basic, where it's heavily crowded. You guys have some really great products, and you know, for this interview, we just want to look at the big picture for Cannabis Global, and we got a decent idea of that. And then what we'll do in future interviews is drill down deeper into actual specific products, categories, and all that. Because there's your edible subsidiary, and there's your patents. We'll talk about those at a different time. But there's a lot going on in Cannabis Global. What's your last message? Because look, you've just come on as CEO, and you guys, despite the fact you guys are doing great on the top line, you're doing some restructuring, some growth, and all that. What's your message to shareholders going into investing season, the Cannabis Global shareholders who have been with you for a while? What should they be looking forward to for the rest of 2022?
Well, we're going to be looking into a very strong closing end of the year, and also, and as we're launching all these new products, the most exciting thing is we're going to close this year way different from previous management. Okay, and also moving into also 2023, we will have a lot more product coming to excite the market and to drive the revenue up to.
Yeah, and the great thing about that for everyone who's watching, especially current shareholders who are just kind of getting re-engaged, you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk. You've already done essentially $2 million in revenue the first 9 months. So it's not as if you're George Calm Cannabis and saying, oh, we got new products, and you just throw them against the wall to see, hopefully, if something sticks. You guys are actually delivering. So if you're able to deliver on, your legacy products so far, Eddie, I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do with the new products. And I can't wait to have you back on, my friend.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. I'm excited too.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening to my podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, to Edward Manolos, CEO of Cannabis Global, trades in the U.S. on the stock symbol CBGL. For those new to the story and you want to start your due diligence, get to the company's profile page on Agoracom and take a look at the company. We give you a great layout of what the company does and its different divisions. We kind of talk about that a little bit. And then once you've got that knowledge under your belt, head right over to the Cannabis Global website, do your deep dive due diligence. If you're bullish on the future of cannabis and all the derivative products and great products, you're looking for a real company generating real results. There are a lot of pretender companies out there. We know they're getting hurt in the markets now because they're just not delivering, but Cannabis Global is delivering. Do due diligence. Hopefully today you discovered your next amazing small cap cannabis company. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, George.
Hey guys, the video's over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you never miss another great Agoracom small cap video.